Augusto Sakai versus Tai Tuivasa, banger in the heavyweight division. I'm going to set the table for this, and I want you to give me a quick, response, and then we'll move on. Tai Tuivasa, this is the biggest fight of his career, in my opinion. I actually got into a couple Twitter exchanges talking about this matchup where the note was, for Tai Tuivasa, this is kind of his second run, if you would call it, in terms of momentum and trying to become a contender in the heavyweight division. Augusto Sakai is a very technical fighter, and Bam Bam's probably going to need to avoid a firefight and show off some of his technical prowess if he wants to get the job done. But then again, I do kind of believe all the pressure is on Bam Bam in this one, because Sakai feels like a dude who's kind of being written off. Tuivasa's hitting shoeies, doing all the good stuff. He's popular. He's an entertainer. But Sakai is just kind of creeping in the shadows. You know what I'm saying? Just doing his thing, saying like, all right, man, you want to come take my number? Come and get it, homie. But I feel like for Tuivasa, the moment is much bigger. People know how good Sakai is. Even though he's coming off a loss against Rosenstruck, people know how good Sakai is. Would you agree that Bam Bam is kind of in a hot seat on this one, and this is a make-or-break fight for him? Because if he wins, you are a ranked fighter. You're getting big names after this one. If you lose, you stay just that entertainer dude who has to fight the Greg Hardys of the world in the UFC. What do you think?
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from 100%. It feels like Bam Bam if he wins this fight, he's trying to get to the actual stars of the show instead of just a performer. I honestly think though Augusto Sakai has a little bit more to risk on this one. To me, it feels like the guy who's been on that losing streak kind of fell off, because Augusto Sakai, let's not forget that I'd say 2-3 months ago, we were talking about him getting to the championship within a couple fights. Now he's taken a lot of losses, or not a lot, but a couple losses, and dropped his momentum. And I feel like it's at that point where you really need to kind of light that fire. He's at the tipping point of his career where, like we talked about before with Uncle Chael, he's no longer on that main card fight. He's going to be dropping more and more. Eventually, that band hammer is going to be coming around. I feel like Augusto Sakai has a little bit more to lose for this, even if it's not as much of a hot seat as Tai Tuivasa, because I agree, Tai Tuivasa is in the hot seat where this is his second coming. This is his second chance to actually be that fighter that he knows he can be instead of just the performer. I think this is a hot seat kind of all around for both these guys. I'd put a little more pressure on Sakai, though, to be completely honest with you, Derek.
That's interesting. I love both perspectives of it, just because it can be equal that way. And I think the odds makers see it that way, because this is a minus 110 pick 'em a pop, So basically roll the dice, flip a coin, whatever you want to call it, man. Somebody is going to win, and it might be decided simply by whoever lands first hardest, simple as that.